All is one, beautiful reflections. I am Priestess Oridapo Omoshule. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are returning, thank you. I appreciate your support. For those that do not know, I am a goddaughter of the Reverend Priestess Oshun Funke Yanifa. I'm a staff member with the Orisha Hoodoo Institute. I am an Ori priestess. I am an ancestral priestess. I am a spiritual warrior. I'm a spiritual avenger. I'm all that with a bag of chips and the dip. And so I wanted to come here briefly to talk about trusting in God's timing. And I can only speak on my experience. I don't ever speak on anything that I don't have experience on, or don't have knowledge on. Okay. So I know with myself and my core group of friends, some of my friends, we there has been a theme going on about time and timing, running out of time. And I know for myself, I found myself comparing my life with other people's life, especially people that are in the same age range as myself, right? And so I realized, I quickly realized that comparison is a thief of joy. Okay. What God has for you is for you. Okay. You cannot speed it up. You can't slow it down. Okay. You can miss opportunities, but you cannot rush God and the things that you want. Okay. There's a reason why we say divine timing, because everything happens according to God's timing. Okay. And so, I know I've been feeling, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 40 in a few years. There's still things that I want to accomplish. There's still things that I want to do that I haven't been able to do, such as like travel to certain places. And let's be real, even with building my legacy and my family, I feel like there's a ticking time. There's not a ticking time. I'm also very impatient. Okay. And so when you start to feel that you are being impatient with the things that you have prayed for. Okay. And the first thing is too, if you pray for something, then don't worry. If you pray for something, don't burden or bother God and your ancestors about when is it going to happen? 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 Okay. That means that you're not trusting in the things that you're praying for. You're not trusting in that the ancestors can provide for you and give you exactly what it is that you want. And then sometimes the things that we want, that we think we want, is not really what we desire, is not in alignment with what God wants us to do. And that's why it hasn't come. Okay. So, things may not be happening because it's not in your destiny, it's not in alignment with God wants you to have, or things may not be happening at the pace that you want because God is still working on it. Okay. So, and I like to think of it as a marinade. Like I like for my food to be marinade. Okay. Marinate overnight if possible. Okay. And so that's how I see with God's timing. Okay. It's not yet, but it's at the right time. Okay. So when you start to feel that you are questioning God's timing with things, when the things that you are praying for been hasn't manifested. There's things that I prayed about 10 years ago that I'm still waiting on. And I know that it's supposed to happen to me because God already told me that it's for me. But in the meantime, in between time, you're going to have to just wait on it, And so things have to be divinely aligned in order for God's timing to work. Okay. So in your seasons, because sometimes it can be seasons of waiting, you want to make sure that you are very intentional about what it is that you're praying for. Okay. So you can't say, I'm praying for this 6-figure job, and you interview for a job and you didn't get the job. And then you're just so upset that, like, you know what? I don't even want anymore. I don't want no 6 figures, So you're showing God mixed signals. Do you want it or you don't want it? Okay. And always know that rejection is God protection. Okay. So when you think that things are happening for other people, it's not a part of your destiny. And not happening for you is because it's not a part of your destiny. Okay. And comparing your life to other people's lives is a easy way for you to fall into depression, for your self-worth and your self-love to deteriorate, for the relationships that you have with other people. When you start to feel that in your seasons of waiting, you're not worthy and God's just not giving you whatever you want, sometimes that can show up in the relationships and how you allow other people to treat you. Don't be tricked because you have to wait. Don't be tricked out of your blessings, okay? Because you feel that things are not happening at a fast pace, okay? And so if there are things that you're praying for and you're trying to move shit, the easiest way for you to do is fasting. If it's in alignment with your destiny, if it's in alignment with God and what God has in store for you and what your Ori and the spirits that walk with you agreed upon, okay? So you want to make sure that you are intentional. So fasting is a sacrifice. Sometimes we have to sacrifice things in order to receive. Okay? And then also in your seasons of waiting, give up the expectations. Sometimes we hold so much on the expectations and how it's supposed to look and feel, the things that you pray for, that our fists are so bald that we not even open up our hands to God so we can receive the blessings. Because we're so rigid on how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to feel, and things of that sort. God knows what's good for you. God knows better. So when you think that you want X, Y, and Z, God be like, you know what? That's all cool, but I got A, B, and C for you. Okay? So during your seasons, let's go back. Fasting, being intentional about what it is that you're praying for, praying and having faith. And faith not subsiding because it's not happening the way that you want it to happen. It's not happening in your time. Everything happens in divine timing. Okay? And then make sure you speak what you want. Only what you want. Don't say, I want an 18-bedroom house. And, I'm going to get an 18-bedroom house. I'm going to manifest this 18-bedroom house. And the first loan that you get, housing loan that you get, you're declining. You're like, you know what? I don't want it. Let me just stay in my studio apartment. Okay? Because spirits are going to be confused. Your words are spells. Whether you believe it or not. Your words are spells. Your words are powerful. You use your words to manifest. Okay? So make sure you're being intentional. And then also, do not compare your life to anyone's else. What God has for you is divinely for you. What God has for my daughter is divinely for my daughter. What God has for my godmother is divinely for my godmother. Okay? And so know and trust that what you pray for is going to be received. Like I said, I've been praying for something for 10 years. Almost 10 years. About 10 years. And I know it's for me. I know God is going to give me what it is that I want. But it's just not at this time. Okay? And so make sure that you are staying fervent in your prayers. Make sure that you are you keep your vibration high. And then also too, accept the fact that it just may not be for you. If God is telling you no, and you will know when God tells you no, you listen to that no and you be obedient. Because that's one thing about spirit. They have a bird's eye view. They see things that you cannot see. They know what's coming. They know it's not for you. This job is not for you because management suck. And there's microaggression there. And there's passive aggressiveness. And then people are micromanaging. And that's not the area for you to be. Okay? So just making sure that in your seasons of waiting, you are trusting on God's divine timing. Even when you feel like everybody else is getting blessed before you, When you feel like everybody else is just the floodgates of heaven just open up and it's raining on everyone but you. You don't compare yourself to others. You know within your whole heart that what you pray for, if it's in alignment with your destiny, that God is going to give it to you. And then don't, out of frustration, don't say, you know what? Don't give up on your dreams out of frustration. Because that's just a sure way for God to be like, okay, let me slow down the process. And you may not be in a position in order to receive the things that you're praying for, and you might just squander it. You might not be responsible with the blessings that you are asking. There might be more internal healing that you need to do in order for your blessings to multiply. That's what we want our blessings to do. We get blessings and we want it to multiply. We want it to stack up. Okay? And so, don't compare yourself to others. Walk in your divine alignment. Walk on your divine path. Okay? Don't compare yourself to others. Yeah, you might want to be in a relationship. Yeah, you might, want that opposite sex interaction. And sometimes you want something so bad that we are disobedient to God, and then we'll get into a relationship just to say that we have someone. Or we'll get a job just to say I have the job. And then we're not happy. We're depressed. We end up being, we have ideations, whether it's, I don't know what I can and cannot say on YouTube, but ideations. Hurting yourself or hurting others. Hurting your animals, okay? Because you ain't got nobody but a cat at home because you can't get no man. And so now you are here doing pet abuse. So don't be so out of alignment that you don't take God's answer as a no. When God says no, it's final. When God says yes, it's final. And it's not a person. There's not a priestess. There's not a priest. There's not a warlock. There's not a mambo. There's not a Hugan that can take away interfere with whatever God tells you yes. Okay? So God's telling you no, and you still gonna go with Devontae anyway, because all your friends got dates and boyfriends and stuff, and then you want to be on Instagram or whatever social media with your boo and stuff. We've all been there. And then next thing you know, Devontae knocking your head between the washer and the dryer. And then you have another problem. Problems come because we don't trust in God's divine timing, and we try to take things into our own hands. There's things that you are responsible for, certain things, yes. But when you are praying for things and God is telling you no, or God is telling you to wait, you be obedient. And we always say obedient is better than sacrifice. We always say that. Be obedient to God. God said no. So now God told you no, and you're going to do what you want to do. And now you have to sacrifice. It can be sacrifice moving out your big house because you took a job that wasn't for you. The management is racist. The whole team is incompetent. And then you're hired, and because you're the last hired, you're going to be the scapegoat for things. And the next thing you know, you lose your job because you weren't patient with not taking the job, and you weren't patient with trusting in God's timing. So there's many ways, there's many ways that God timing shows up, whether you want to go to school and God is telling you to hold on, just wait because there's something better. You like, oh, I want to go to, Florida A&M, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then God is like, hold on, wait, because Howard University is going to accept you. You have a better offer. And then you go you decide, okay, I'm not gonna wait, I'm gonna go ahead and commit or whatever to this college, and you get down to Florida and you realize the politics are horrible, it's racist down there, the wildlife is crazy, people got stand your ground laws, okay? And then now you're in a situation that was not designed for you, was not intended for you. And then now you're like, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of this situation? Okay. So this might have been everywhere, but this has happened. This has shown up many times in my friend group about trusting God's timing and not comparing your life to other people's life, not comparing other people's blessings to you, because their blessings is their blessings. Your blessing is your blessing. Okay. And make sure that you're intentional about what it is that you're praying for. And when God gives you the answer, you make sure that you're obedient to what God is telling you. Whether God says sit down and sharpen your skills before you open up this business, your financial skills, because you're horrible with finances and you're just going to run your company into a hole. Or if God's like, you know what, now it's not time for you to have that baby. Because this ain't even the nigga that you're supposed to be having a baby with. You know why? Because he knocking your head between the washer and dryer. Okay, and that is not the story that you want your kids to grow up on. That is not the environment that you want to bring children into, you know? So in your seasons of waiting, even when you start to feel uncomfortable, when you start to, just feel like, what the fuck is going on with my life? Know that God has not forgotten you. God has not forsaken you. And your blessing is your blessing. Okay. And so if you want to find out more, if you want to start your spiritual journey, I'll have that down in the description. We have a free mentorship with the Orisha Hoodoo Institute, which is great, foundational. So if you want to, and it's free, FREE. Okay. And so this is a gift to the community by some of the priestesses, and hopefully you will take advantage. And if you want to join our community, I'll put that down there as well. We have a community in Collab where we talk about everything from the birds to the beads to the praying grandmother to gardening to free rituals that we have as well. And there's going to be a free spring ritual tomorrow as well. And I'll put that in the description below. So thank you for sticking with me. Okay. Thank you for listening to my video. Add little comments in the, add little comments, your thoughts. If there's anything that you want to add, if there's any questions that you have, put it in the comment section and I'll try to respond. And then I'll also put my social media handles as well, so you can follow me. Okay. I am Priestess Omoshule, and like I always say, pray with me. Don't play with me.